There may be something big hidden beneath the mysterious ground of Oak Island, and the Lagina brothers are close to finding it. Right now, they're re-excavating the garden shaft, an 80-foot-deep, rotted wooden structure that may point to where the 228-year-old money pit is hidden. Recently excavated layers of wood were tested, and shockingly, they date back to 1735. And when the water was tested, traces of gold were found. Guess what's still shining beneath the ground? The team has dug tunnels extending from the garden shaft to get straight to the treasure that's been told stories about for centuries. Marty Lagina is sure they won't come up empty-handed this time. Their next step? Drilling down 60 feet, both vertically and diagonally, to follow every clue. So if you also want to be a part of this journey full of mystery, adventure, and search for gold, then subscribe to the channel now and press the bell icon. The truth of Oak Island is not far away now. The question of what lies beneath Oak Island's surface is no longer just an old story. It's a serious scientific discovery. To that end, Rick Lagina and his team are embarking on a high-tech mission. For surveillance, they're using an advanced camera technology called the Antonine Spectrum 120, which comes with a 360-degree pan lens and the ability to work even in low light. It has enough zoom power to get a closer look at every corner of the ground. While the team hopes to find treasure beneath the garden shaft, their real goal is much bigger. They want to reach the underground tunnel that has been only speculated about so far. Both Rick and Roger are very excited about this endeavor, as it could give them a way to explore deeper into the money pit area. The team is currently working on some new equipment that could help them find the tunnel. They are breaking the soil using a technique called hammer grab, and are also adding 2 more tools. Apart from this, a special hammer is being prepared that can pierce the hard soil and make a way forward. Perhaps the same path that leads directly to the original money pit that has been searched for a century. The dream of solving this mystery that has been going on for 228 years now seems closer than ever. Rick and site manager Scott Barlow are now at a point where every step of the search can become history. Going below the ground and uncovering the layers of truth. This is their next step. If you also want to witness every moment of this search, then do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Oak Island will now reveal its secrets. The only question is, when? The excavation on Oak Island has reached a point where both caution and patience are needed. The garden shaft has been excavated to 44 feet, and with safety training complete, the team is now ready to enter the money pit area. Rick Lagina is excited about the opportunity. For him, this is not just a historic discovery, but a shared experience. A journey that builds an emotional bridge between him and the people who once made history on this very spot. He believes that when many people join together for a common purpose, the experience becomes even more special. As the team descends, they are proud to know that even if the techniques and tools they use today were not in place centuries ago, someone would have painstakingly preserved this site. To be able to do all this without cranes and machinery is a testament to that hard work and thinking of the past. Rick believes the story of Oak Island is not just about treasure, but about the people who left something behind. And now that legacy is being rekindled. Garden Shaft is no longer just a tunnel, but a path of exploration. One that could lead us to the mysteries and potential discoveries of the money pit. The team believes they may find signs of an offset chamber of the tunnel at a depth of 95 feet, and perhaps find answers to questions that have been awaited for years. They are excited that this is not just about finding treasure, but about preserving and understanding history. The Oak Island investigation now focuses on a swamp that was once thought to be a natural formation, but now there are signs that it may be man-made. Rick Lagina and his team are delving deep into the mysterious triangular swamp to find evidence of whether it was indeed part of an ancient construction plan. During the investigation, Rick discovered a large wooden stake at the northern end of the swamp on land owned by Fred Nolan. The stake was cut with an axe, not a saw, indicating that it was hand-hewn, not machine-made. Details about the find match those from 1969, when surveyor Fred Nolan found several wooden stakes arranged in a straight line. All of the stakes were carbon, dated to the 1500s. Gary Davidson was told by both Fred and Tom that 4 or 5 cuts were visible on each stake. This led to the speculation that Oak Island was once divided into 2 islands, and that the swamp was artificially created to connect them. Dan and Fred cut off the tip of one of the pillars and sent it for testing, and the carbon dating came back as 1575, with a possible error of 85 years. The discovery of these pillars isn't just old wood, it lends credence to the idea that the swamp was built for a greater purpose, perhaps to hide or protect something. Marty Lagina and the other members of the team are watching this evidence carefully, as it could be the clue that helps unravel the long-standing mystery of Oak Island. The Oak Island team recently discovered some signs on Fred Nolan's land that are considered to be the most important discovery so far. Rick Lagina and his team are now digging a shaft in that area to understand how far the recently discovered paved area extends. This area is made up of a special type of rock, which appears to be different from the normal natural formation. Although the paved area was discovered only recently, its structure indicates that it may have been built with some purpose, perhaps to hide, protect, or create a passage. The team is also surprised by the fact that water is entering this area so quickly, which suggests that water may have been controlled in some way in the past. While the discovery is interesting, it still leaves unanswered questions: who built it, why it was built, and when was it built? The team believes that this discovery is not as easy as it seems. It has become a complex mystery. In the midst of all this, Rick receives the news while traveling in New York that his close friend and researcher Zena Halpern has passed away. Zena had handed over her lifelong research work, books, documents, and records to Rick, which included her in-depth study of Oak Island. These documents also include an important record, the Cremona document, which is a statement taken by an English Templar. This document mentions a year-long journey named Antora, in which the Templars set out towards the New World. Rick now wants to take Zena's efforts forward, and this is the reason why Rick's mother has also started her participation in this research. The Oak Island team is now paying special attention to signs that could prove that the swamp was actually man-made. Rick, Marty, and other members of their team are constantly working in this direction and believe that they are now close to an important discovery. They are also very excited to do more research on Oak Island and discover new information. Meanwhile, Rick Lagina has got hold of a copy of an important historical document, the Cremona document. This document is a collection of diaries and maps written by Ralph de Soudely, a Templar knight of the 12th century. This was the time when some people from Europe had set out for the New World, 300 years before Columbus reached America. The document mentions Ralph's visit to the Temple Mount in Jerusalem and coming to the New World under a mission in the year 1178. After reading this document, the researchers believe that the information given in it can be relevant and reliable. They suggest that a dedicated research center should be set up on Oak Island, where facts can be collected and these mysteries can be solved. This team is carrying forward the work done by Zena Halpern with full responsibility and respect. The idea of a research center is also appropriate because in cases like Oak Island, it is very important to clearly distinguish between truth and fiction. The researchers also believe that it is necessary to take forward this search that started years ago. The book Oak Island and Its Treasures also mentions a very interesting incident in which Sir William Phipps allegedly hid a vault full of treasure in the Money Pit area. According to the book, in the late 1600s, some of his English companions had made several unsuccessful attempts to extract that treasure. According to Doug Crowell, an old shilling found recently could be an indication that the English army was once present on Oak Island. It is also possible that this shilling is related to those failed attempts. Even though the treasure has not been found yet, the presence of gold and silver particles in water tests keeps the hope alive that perhaps the treasure is still hidden somewhere out there. The Oak Island team has now reached a point where every new clue is pointing towards a big revelation. The recent discovery in Lot 5 and the excavations being done in that area have become more important than ever. The team feels that they are now very close to the answer they have been looking for years. Rick Lagina and his team have started digging a new shaft, which is said to have been built in the early 1700s. They believe that this shaft may be just a few feet away from the original Money Pit. The purpose of this new effort is to extract wood samples and find out through dendrochronology in which year these woods were cut. According to Craig Tester, if the age of this wood turns out to be around 1805, then it will be a big proof that this shaft is indeed related to the same discovery that has been going on for years on Oak Island. And if this proves to be true, then this shaft too can lead them to the real Money Pit. In the recent excavation, a large piece of wood has been found, which seems to be a part of an old wall. Now the question is this piece connected to Shaft 2? Rick Lagina believes that Shaft 2 can become the most important link in this entire search, like the last clue of a mystery. Apart from this, the presence of metal has also been recorded in the same area, which indicates that something heavy and important may be hidden under the ground. The team is currently engaged in digging with full seriousness and technical equipment, so that by connecting all these clues, they can reach that one place, where perhaps the centuries-old treasure is still hidden. This discovery of Oak Island is no longer just a matter of history, but has become a test of accurate scientific analysis and patience. Will they find what they have been looking for so many years this time? If you want to be a part of this exciting discovery, subscribe to the channel now and press the bell icon so you don't miss any updates on this mystery. Every inch counts when digging at Oak Island, especially when clues are hidden in soil and wood fragments. Recently, the team found a thick, curved piece of wood that Craig Tester believes is the outer layer of a tree. He says this sample could be extremely useful for analysis, and so the team collected several pieces of it. When Marty Lagina arrived at the site, he used a simple but effective method to get a deeper look. A mirror was used to shine light into the dark corners of the pit to see more. Marty was amazed at how complex construction work people in the past must have done, even with limited resources. But he also said that just looking at history won't cut it. It's important to keep your mind sharp and your direction clear. Meanwhile, Gary Drayton picked up a faint signal in the soil with his metal detector. As he dug, he found a rose head spike, used for construction from the late 1700s to the mid-1800s. This could be another strong clue. Seeing several old logs on the walls of the pit, the team decided to remove some of the beams and examine them. Rick noticed that the structure and age of the logs matched those of the second shaft, Shaft 2, which was built in the early 1800s. If the match is confirmed, it will be the first accurate identification of a searcher shaft on Oak Island, a major achievement. Billy, the operator of the excavator, was working in the dark based on instructions only. When he, with Scott's help, carefully moved the bucket along the wall, the first wooden beam fell into the water. A shock, but Billy did not give up. The next time he successfully pulled out a heavy and strong piece of wood. Gary then checked to see if there was any metal in the wood, but found no signs. This indicates that the construction style must have been very old and traditional. The team now suspects that the upper portion of Shaft 2 may have been rebuilt at some point, and this discovery could bring them closer to the original money pit. This area is no longer just a digging site for them, but a historical point. The success of this operation has given a new twist to the exploration of Oak Island. The Oak Island search is no longer focused on old logs or metals. The team is now building on hard data from scientific testing. A few weeks ago, scientists tested water samples and found that one particular area, dubbed the Yellow District, consistently had high levels of metals like copper, lead, zinc, and tin. This analysis made Marty Lagina take the area seriously. The area stretches about 2,500 feet, and the team calls it PI. Dr. Michelle believes that if something important is hidden, it's in a particular part of the area called the Golden Egg. Marty decides that all wells in the area will be drilled here to get a better idea of things. The next morning, the team prepares for drilling and testing. When drilling begins in the Golden Egg area, at a depth of about 100 feet, some signs start to appear that there is some structure down there. Mike, from Choice Drilling, explains that the sample they have taken is soft on top, and there is no wood in it. But this is considered a good sign because it means they are close to a hollow or hidden place. Marty is confident that if something is there, it will be found in this excavation. Meanwhile, Peter suggests taking a water sample and testing it for the presence of metal. They decide to contact Dr. Spooner about this. A little while later, Marty receives information that some new progress has been made in the EN-13 borehole made in the Golden Egg. The team believes they may be very close to a man-made structure. As they look at the new sample, a strange thing happens. Loud booms start coming from the well, which continue for about half a minute. The team believes they may be drilling into a place where there is air pressure. That is, the place is either open or collapsing from the inside. Dr. Spooner suspects there is definitely a void. When they took a sample of water, it appeared yellow in the sunlight. This is a sign that wood may be present nearby. This discovery has piqued Rick Lagina's interest even more, especially if this signal leads to a hidden chamber or tunnel. He believes that this water has come here through a tunnel or shaft, and this information can help in understanding the source of these metal signals. Now the team's eyes are on their next drilling point. Hopefully, more important clues will be found from there. According to historians, Norse people reached Iceland and Greenland before 1021 AD. From there, the journey to Newfoundland is only a few hundred kilometers by sea, and Oak Island is not much farther. In this historical context, the Oak Island team has found another Roman coin, which they are linking to Viking descendants. This discovery could add a new reference to their ongoing research. To understand this link, the team is now turning to the Viking settlement, which has been declared a National Historic Site by the Government of Canada and which is considered the only verified Viking presence in North America. Rick Lagina believes that the presence of descendants of these Vikings could be a possible explanation for the arrival of Old World treasure on Oak Island. They think that crossing the North Atlantic would have been technically difficult at the time, but not impossible. And perhaps this is why some of the remains found on Oak Island today, such as arrowheads, are being brought with them to compare whether they are related to Viking civilization. Historians also say that this Viking settlement was only discovered in the 1960s. to which Marty Lagina laughingly remarked that if one settlement was found so recently, there are probably many more that have not yet been discovered. Historians agree and do not rule out the possibility that Vikings and Templars may have traveled to Oak Island via Newfoundland. They even have some remains that support this idea. Meanwhile, Rick, Alex Lagina, and their team were using urethane to stop water leaking in the garden shaft when they found some interesting things: ancient wooden artifacts, a mysterious ring, and a nail that may be linked to the famous treasure of William Phipps. The excavation at Oak Island has seen recent heavy rains flood the Money Pit area. In this area, which is about 150 feet deep, Rick and his team found old structural remains, which raises the question of how people in the past could have built such complex structures. The team working at these depths is now focusing on a circular pit in Lot 5, where they have found a metal bar and another ancient artifact. Also found are sand mounds and an excavation lid, suggesting the site may have been part of an entrance. Particular attention in the excavations on Oak Island has now turned to Lot 5, where a mysterious stone structure has been uncovered. Archaeologists Helen Sheldon and Moya MacDonald are examining the structure in depth. So far, they have found signs of gold, silver, and organic remains, indicating that the site may have been an offset chamber or ancient treasure hiding place. Meanwhile, archaeologist Carmen Legg identified a peculiar object, a small chest clasp, possibly dating from the 17th century. The discovery raises a number of questions. Could the object be connected to other objects from the same period or precious metals found in the Money Pit area? During a routine operation by Dumas Contracting Limited to stop a water leak in the garden shaft, some more information was revealed. 3D Freemasonry expert Scott Clark has indicated in a report that there may be silver deposits in the area. They believe the deposit may be linked to the Campion, a ship that sank in 1641, which was later discovered by William Phipps in 1687 and reportedly carrying 25,000 euros worth of treasure. The team has found a number of interesting surface remains so far, including a piece of copper sheeting that may be linked to maritime activity at the height of the pirate epidemic. Another shipwreck from Lot 4 confirms earlier discoveries and raises the possibility that there may have been a deliberate attempt to hide treasure on Oak Island. Dr. Spooner also believes a small boat found at the back of the marsh, possibly dating from the 1680s, may be part of a longboat used to unload cargo. After examining another piece of copper sheet, an experienced blacksmith suggested it may have been part of a treasure chest, dating back to around 1100 AD. While excavating at Smith's Cove, the team found a solid concrete wall with pipes embedded in it, raising questions about its construction and purpose. To help unravel these mysteries, the team turned to experienced explorer Dan Beal. He provided useful information from previous excavations that support Zena Halpern's theory that Oak Island may have been used by the Templars to hide treasure for centuries. When the Oak Island excavation focused on the HHH shaft in the 16 Campion area, the team found some surprising findings. Pieces of colored plaster, possibly from an ancient chapel, paper, leather, and even human bones were recovered from the area. All these clues pointed to the presence of a large wooden box. The search gained new momentum when investigative journalist Randall Sullivan joined the team. He shed light on the history of Oak Island, including the mystery of the 90-foot rock and Francis Bacon's alleged flood tunnels. He suggested that alternate entrances to these tunnels should be sought on the south shore. The excavation in the swamp area also yielded some interesting clues: stone tools, pottery, and burnt iron rods. These things suggest that this place may have been used for the movement of heavy goods. One of the most important discoveries came from Lot 5, where archaeologist Alex Lagina found a piece of wooden dowel similar to one found earlier at Smith's Cove, possibly the remains of an ancient loading-unloading structure. Gary Drayton's metal detectors pointed to a large rectangular structure, near which were found some construction rocks and an inscribed stone slab, which may have been part of the original money pit. With all these discoveries, the history of ancient maritime activities and potential treasure on Oak Island is coming to light. Rick and Marty Lagina, who are behind the curse of Oak Island, have become well-known names in the U.S. in treasure hunting reality TV. Their interest was sparked by an old article in the 1960s, which later inspired a TV show. In 2010, they signed a major contract with Prometheus Entertainment, estimated to be worth around $20 million. The show's first season was met with tremendous popularity and has run for 11 seasons and over 168 episodes so far. This success also spawned a spin-off show called Beyond Oak Island, which took Rick and Marty's quest to an international level. Marty Lagina, who is also an engineer, producer, and vineyard owner, has a net worth estimated to be around $110 million. He studied engineering, then worked in law, and eventually returned to entrepreneurship. His companies also include Heritage Sustainable Energy, which works on projects that promote renewable energy, showing that his business interests are not limited to TV, but extend to future energy and environmental needs. Marty Lagina is a well-known name in the U.S. energy sector. He has combined his business experience with environmental responsibility through Heritage Sustainable Energy, which works in the field of renewable energy. But there is another side to his career: his involvement in the oil and gas industry, which has often been criticized and controversies. This makes it clear that success and wealth are not a guarantee of protection from public criticism. Along with proving his hold in the business world, Marty also maintains balance in his personal life. He owns several luxurious homes in the U.S. and has a lot of support from his family. His brother Rick and son Alex have also made their mark in different fields. Alex Lagina has given a new direction to the Oak Island project by staying active in the field of business and media. Alex, who started from the small town of Muskegon in Michigan, has contributed new energy and business thinking to the family projects so far. With an estimated net worth of about $50 million, he has carried forward the legacy of the Lagina family. The Oak Island-based TV show, The Adventure of Marty and Alex Lagina, has become popular due to its unique story and the presence of the two brothers. The show is not just a treasure hunt. It is a blend of thought, strategy, and an understanding of heritage. The human aspect and the spirit of unraveling historical mysteries play a big role in attracting viewers. Nowadays, both Marty and Alex are not just explorers, but have become a brand. When they are in front of the camera, their experience, their thinking, and their balance is clearly visible. On one hand, the busyness of the business world, and on the other hand, the passion to unravel centuries-old mysteries. The success of the Oak Island project is not just a story of treasure hidden underground. It's a story of strong leadership, vision, and a team filled with responsibility. Years of hard work and research have elevated Marty and Rick Lagina's team's journey from a simple quest to one of deep social and historical responsibility. Today, it's more than just, what did we find? The question is now, what does this discovery mean? Along with historical documents, structures, and relics, there's also a personal side to these experiences, one that not only educates but also emotionally connects viewers. What emerges in the process is a balance, the possibility of economic success, preserving the dignity of historical heritage, and meeting the test of personal integrity, all of which are not easy to manage at the same time. Shows like The Curse of Oak Island remind people that history lives on, not just in books, but underground, in structures, and in human curiosity. Craig Tester and Marty Lagina's friendship dates back to their days at Michigan Technological University. Similar technical backgrounds and a shared interest in history led them to partner on several successful projects, including Oak Island Tours Inc., a vineyard, and Heritage Sustainable Energy. The partnership is proof that deep friendship and business thinking can last a long time when combined. Alex Lagina, on the other hand, adds a new perspective. He is not only active in the business and media worlds, but is also very conscious of his public life. He decides what to share and what to keep private. Social media photos with his partner Catherine further humanize his image, giving fans a glimpse into his life. In today's times, when energy crisis and environmental challenges are part of the general debate, Craig Tester has channeled his engineering experience into the right direction through Heritage Sustainable Energy. He is one of those businessmen who think not only about profits, but also do environmental responsibility equally. His efforts have improved the company's image and established him as a conscious businessman. The partnership of Craig and Alex Lagina is also an interesting example of how personal goals, business acumen, and smart use of public platforms can combine to make a positive impact. While Craig is working for the environment, Alex is making his presence felt in the world of business and media. Craig's popularity has reached new heights with the TV show The Curse of Oak Island. Through this show, he not only got a large audience, but his association with History Channel has also pushed his financial graph upwards. This recognition also showed him new avenues of investment and growth. On the other hand, the story of inventors like Dan Blankenship is different. Dan, a keen observer of Oak Island history, is estimated to be worth about $1 million, earned through years of exploration and participation in the show. But Dan's approach is different from Craig's. His goal is less to find treasure and more to live out the spirit of exploration. When it comes to Rick and Marty Lagina, people have a question. Is the brothers' relationship limited to business, or is it part of a shared vision that goes beyond exploration? What the long-term effects of their economic projects will be is also a consideration.